Take a look at almost any door around you. Front doors, garage doors, cabinets, even cheap modern ones. The same pattern keeps repeating. Raised panels, angled edges, perfect rectangles. It looks decorative, like someone added detail to make it feel more premium. But that design exists for a much deeper reason, because without it, doors used to fail. Let's figure this out right here on Unlogic. The story starts with something most people never think about. Wood doesn't stay still. It constantly reacts to the air around it, expanding in humidity, shrinking when it dries, and it doesn't do it cleanly. It bends, twists, and warps as different parts move in different directions. Now imagine making a door out of a single flat slab of wood. At first it looks fine, but over time that movement takes over. At first it bends slightly, then more, until it no longer fits the frame, sticking, gapping, or refusing to close at all. For early builders, this wasn't rare. It was guaranteed. So the first solution was simple: nail multiple boards together. That helped a little. Nails can flex, so the wood didn't immediately crack. But the real problem stayed. Even if the boards held together, the whole thing could still warp. You'd end up with doors that were technically intact but completely unusable. The real breakthrough came when builders stopped fighting the movement and started working with it. Instead of one solid piece, they built doors in two parts: a rigid outer frame and a thinner inner panel. And here's the detail that changed everything. The panel isn't fixed in place. It's not glued. It's not nailed. It sits loosely inside a groove carved into the frame. That small change solved the problem. Now when humidity changes, the panel can expand and shrink freely inside the frame. No stress, no forced bending. And the frame keeps everything flat, preventing it from twisting out of shape. Instead of resisting movement, the design allows it. That's why this structure lasted for centuries. But this creates something interesting. To fit into that groove, the edges of the panel need to be thinner than the center. So builders simply shaved the edges down until it fit. They didn't care about looks. That's where the angled edges come from, the bevel. At first it was rough, uneven, purely functional. Then craftsmanship improved. Those rough cuts became smooth, clean, symmetrical. And at some point, someone made a simple decision. Instead of hiding those edges, they turned them outward and made them the design. That's the raised panel. Now, it didn't just work, it looked expensive. The angles caught light, created shadows, added depth. So it spread everywhere. Doors, cabinets, interiors, not just because it worked, but because it looked better. But here's the strange part. Most modern doors don't even need this anymore. They're made from engineered materials, metal, fiberglass. They don't move like solid wood. So technically, these panels aren't necessary, and yet they're still everywhere because flat surfaces feel dull. But raised panels interact with light, creating highlights, shadows, depth. And your brain reads that as quality. More detail feels more expensive. So now we mass-produce modern doors and design them to look like old wooden doors that needed this structure just to survive. So those grooves and raised shapes you see on doors aren't random. They're the result of a real problem: wood that refuses to stay still, and a clever solution that slowly turned into style. And now that you've noticed it, you'll start seeing it everywhere. This is Unlogic.